in corporate America. And I'm giving it to you from my perspective in terms of my experience, okay? So for me, the first thing as it relates to persevering in corporate America is to be a change agent. That means be a champion of change. Whenever the winds of change blow, you got to embrace it enthusiastically. We all know that when the winds of change blow, that folks get a little bit hesitant. You're also going to have naysayers. You're going to also have those negative people that are around you, right? And so with that being said, I always try to keep a positive attitude about everything. And so I'm like, if God didn't bring it in front of me, or put it this way, if he didn't want me to be exposed to it, he wouldn't have brought it in front of me. And I can reference God since I got a minister right over here, right? So, and I apologize in advance if I say a cuss word. So anyway, when the winds of change blow, make sure that you're one of the first ones to speak positively about it, all right? Because I guarantee you, we all know that there's pros and cons to your present scenario, and there's pros and cons to when the winds of change blow, no matter what the situation is. So I try to keep my glass half full. How many people here have that mentality or that attitude? If not, make sure you try to embrace that all the time. Keep your glass half full. There's always something positive about it. Okay, here's number 2. All right? Make sure that you are willing to accept all opportunities in all assignments. Make sure you are willing to accept all opportunities in all assignments. And so I tell you just quickly about my example as far as accepting all opportunities, right? I was actually in military police in the Marine Corps. And I thought I was going to be an FBI agent. And so I went and applied to the FBI. And while waiting to go to because I got a report date. And while waiting to report, it was about maybe 4 or 5 months down the road. So I'm born and raised in Indianapolis, Indiana, right? And so I moved, a little neck down action going there. Here we go. So anyway, so that's the home of Eli Lilly and Company, right? So I go there and I say, hey man, I just got a Marines, posted as a storm, everybody's all patriotic. Hold on, y'all. So I want to go in the warehouse, but I know I'm only going there for 4 months. You know what I mean? And then I'm going to the academy to be an agent. Well, a guy says to me, he says, well, have you ever heard of pharmaceutical sales? And you know, I'm fresh out of Marines with, you know, a weapon. I'm like, no, I ain't never no pharmaceutical sales. So he said, I want you to go around with a rep. Go around with a rep for a couple of days. So I went around with a rep for a couple of days. And I'll tell you, I went back to the manager and said, this is what I want to do the rest of my career. Called the recruiter up for the FBI agents and things and no things. Like knowing you, this is the direction that I'm getting ready to go. And so it's been a blessing ever since. So I did the sales rep thing, right? Then an opportunity came. They said I had relocated to Lexington, Kentucky. I had to move to Memphis, Tennessee. I moved to Memphis, Tennessee as a hospital sales rep. Had no idea I was going to end up a hospital sales rep. Boom! Winds of change blew again. Then there was an opportunity to be a national sales trainer, all right? And so I had to relocate to Indianapolis, Indiana, all right? So I packed up, moved, which was cool because I was moving back home, right? Then boom! The winds of change blew. I had the opportunity to be a district manager and go back to Memphis, Tennessee. So I went back there, and next thing I know, 10 years have gone by that I was at Eli Lilly and Company. And then boom, the winds of change blew. The artist comes knocking on my door. Say, hey, we got an opportunity for you. I'll tell you what, if you come over here, here's the career progression that we will promise you if you execute and deliver. I said, not a problem. And by the way, they offered me a lot more money too. You know what I mean? They don't got that money, I'm gone. You know what I mean? So anyway, I went ahead, took that district manager opportunity, did well. Then boom, the winds of change blew. They said we got an opportunity for you at headquarters in New Jersey. I said, oh, okay, let me go ahead and do this thing. So I went ahead and went to New Jersey as a operations manager. And when I was a district manager out in the field with Novartis, I was like an award-winning district manager. I won an international trip and President's Club. The next thing I know, I'm at headquarters at Novartis sitting in the cubicle. I'm like, man, what the heck? So anyway, I really thought I made a bad mistake. I was sitting there being all this champion of change. I was like, man, they caught up with me. You know, so I said, this job is terrible. I said, okay, embrace it. And so, but what I ended up finding out, it was the perfect vehicle to learn project management. And so it ended up being a blessing. Then boom, the winds of change blew. They said, I understand you got an MBA in marketing and one of your drugs was enablers. And Enablix was a product for overactive black. How'd you like to be associate director over there in marketing? So, hey, bring it on, all right? And so, in fact, that's how I ended up meeting Etzel. And so, in fact, Etzel and I had a great conversation, found out we was frat brothers. You know, I always got to do that, you know what I mean? Found out we was frat brothers, and then the next thing I know, I got Etzel. I'm on stage in front of the field force doing a marketing presentation. But I had to reach out and acknowledge my man Etzel from the stage. We was doing that thing. That's it. You got to support each other. You know what I mean? Yeah. So anyway, next thing I know, the winds have changed blue. All right? And so tell you what, we want you to be a regional director, but it's not going to be in pharmaceuticals. Novartis had purchased Alcon. And so they had a medical device opportunity. So wow, total different way of selling in pharmaceuticals. So I said, okay, let's bring it on. Went over there, did well. I ran the region for New York, Connecticut, and New Jersey. And then boom, the winds have changed blue. Abbott called me. Now I've been in Novartis for 13 years now. All right, 10 years Marine Corps, 10 years Eli Lilly, 13 years Novartis. Don't ask me how old I am. You know what I mean? But anyway, so the winds have changed blue. Abbott, through LinkedIn, I got a message that said, we have an opportunity for you. If you're interested, give me a call. That was all it said. And I had one of these moments, I'm like, you know what? Let me see what's happening with this goofy message. When I called, I ended up being a recruiter from Abbott saying, hey, I understand, you're in vision care, you're a regional director, you're running a region, how would you like to run an entire country? I'm like, hold up now. You got my attention. You know what I mean? We understand you're in New Jersey. How'd you like to come to Southern California? Hold up now. And so the next thing I know, I made that career change and went over to California. Then boom, after some 3 years there, the winds have changed blue. And then opportunity presented itself for me to join Cardinal Health. Now when I was with Abbott, I went from medical device sales to surgical equipment. Then I come over to Cardinal and it's hospital supplies, all right? So I said all I have to say. When the assignments and the opportunities present itself, that door was open in front of you for a reason. Have the courage, because it does take courage to step out and accept all that. Because you got to tell your family. My daughter just turned 34, and I remember telling her, she was 14 at the time, that we was about to move again. She was cheerleader and playing basketball on the team. She said, Dad, I hate you and your job. You know what I mean? Now I get these father things that saying, I got the best dad in the world. I told her, I said, you be all right, but you pack up and be ready to go. We go. You know what I mean? You can hate on me all day, but you better have your suitcase back, I promise. But anyway, so number 3, and I'll make these last 3 real quick, so hang on. All right? Number 3, be a squeaky wheel. The squeaky wheel gets the oil, right? It used to be taboo to talk about what you wanted to do next. It's no longer taboo. I just told my wife, I was with my boss this week in Houston. And I've been with Cardinal Health since January. Well, I know my boss was, he was newly promoted. And so he'd only been there a few months before me in terms of that assignment. So we're talking and he says, you know what? I shared with Ben, who is my boss's boss, what I wanted to do next. So he done opened up an opportunity for me to share what I want to do next. Right? So again, I've only been there since January. And so he knows one of my corporate goals is to be a vice president, right? And so he says, all right, here's what it looks like. Let's have that conversation. This is after 6 months. How are they going to know what you want to do if you don't tell them what you want to do? That makes sense? All right, and so timing is everything. Keep everything in perspective. Make sure that you set a timeline for yourself on when you want to communicate what you want to do next. When you want that conversation to have some action, meaning, is it a training program? Is it a mentor they're going to assign to you? Have a timeline for that. In other words, a continuum. And then have that time, that continuum also include when do you want to start interviewing. All right? So I told my wife, enjoy New Orleans. Because my plan is 24 and out. That means months. You know what I mean? 24 months. May not necessarily have to relocate. But I plan on doing something else out there. But squeaky wheel. All right. Number 4. Make sure you have an informal mentor. Why do I say informal? Formal mentor programs don't work. People are forced to participate. Informal, then now you got people who are willing, it's natural, you know what I mean? And some of the commonalities are already there. I've got mentors that are African Americans. I remember having a mentor that was, this older white guy, but he was just really, really good at preparation. I said, man, I want to be like that. And so I always had conversations with him about that type of stuff. But make sure you have an informal mentor. It doesn't matter if they're in the industry or outside the industry. Can that informal mentor take you to the next level in direction of which you are trying to go? All right? And so I've had informal mentors that had nothing to do with sales, had nothing to do. One of my favorites was my minister. All right? And my minister in New Jersey. Me and him are really, really good friends. But he was also a mentor for me. All right? And he was younger than me. Now let's expand. When I say younger, he was like 15 years younger than me. But his accomplishments and his elegance in terms of his delivery and so on and so forth, it just attracted me, if that makes sense. And then finally, make sure you network. Make sure you network. Now, people say, this is what I love. People say, okay, I understand I'm supposed to network, but how? I'm gonna tell you how easy it is, because y'all make it way too difficult. There's algebra and trigonometry, and then there's just addition. all right. Networking, how to do it is just addition. 1 + 1 = 2. That's all it is. Now, I'm gonna give you a quote from that great philosopher and writer, Eminem. How many people have heard of Eminem? All right, so Eminem, I promise you, that came up with, without a doubt, the easiest game plan on how to network. And guess what? He put it in the song. You know what that song is? Hi, my name is Slim Shady. Y'all remember that? That's how easy networking is. Just go up and introduce yourself. Whether it's at an internal company event. This is a true story. I remember being in Novartis. Before I got the opportunity to go to sales operations, we was at a national sales meeting. And I remember our vice president was there, and I wanted to talk to him because I was wanting to get into this regional director training program. He was the one that was going to sign off on it. He knew of me, but didn't know me, if that makes sense. Yeah. So at this particular national sales meeting, which I don't know if they do it anymore, I doubt they do, but they actually had a cigar tent. And at the time, I didn't smoke cigars. Now I like a good Cohiba. You know what I mean? I do now. But at the time, I didn't. But he was in that cigar tent. And I said, well, there's my chance. I saw him walk up. The guys were rolling. So I walk up. Hi, my name is. And I went ahead and made sure we had a conversation about what I wanted to do. I even took out that cigar. Now, as we got to talking, I certainly went back to my bedroom and laid down. I got sick of it all, man. I got sick. I didn't know how to smoke a cigar. But anyway, it was worth the hi, my name is. Because 18 months later, I was promoted in inside headquarters at Novartis. Because I put my name on the map. All right? So you got all these people here today. All y'all remember Eminem. Y'all probably singing on it all the way home now. But all y'all remember that. So make sure while we are here today, hi, my name is. Thank you. Appreciate it.